Hey, welcome to the Reddit time. What was a great scene ruined by popularity? Let's start. eBay. I remember being able to get an absolute bargain for almost anything I wanted. Now, every shop puts their shit on eBay. The other problem with eBay, it is completely messed up people's perceptions of what stuff is worth. Someone will see some shitty thing on eBay listed for like $500 and be like, oh, this was its worth. But it's been listed for $500 for 2 years and nobody bought it cause that's crazy. Then someone at a flea market or Craigslist is like, oh, it's on eBay for $500, so I'll give you a deal for $150. To some extent, amusement or theme parks. They have to be popular to justify building new state-of-the-art attractions, but eventually get so crowded that you need to buy special passes and get on a ride in less than 2 hours, and can barely even find a place to sit when you want to rest for a minute. I live near Six Flags Great America outside of Chicago. Any time I've gone in the last 10 years, it's been a ridiculous mass of humanity. More rides than ever, but every descent ride is like a 2-hour wait. As a resident of Orlando, this crowded issue is more than just in the parks. Universal has plans to make this Nintendo theme park or resort that is massive, and the neighborhood right across has justified issue with it concerning the amount of traffic that will come. This city is a tourist trap and our infrastructure is barely hanging on with the growth in visitors. Beaches. Once tourism starts, it usually has devastating effects on the flora and fauna. They had to close the beach off from the public in Thailand to give nature time to recover. Edit for grammar. Edit to give more information. I was talking about Maya Bay, which was made famous by the movie The Beach. Yes, the one with Leo. Despite its isolation, the bay attracts so many tourists there isn't even any room to lay down in the sand. The bay is closed off until officials believe the coral has rejuvenated sufficiently. Lindsay Lohan, seriously. Cute and talented actress received way too much popularity with no guidance. Yeah, she peaked super fast and then minutes later every time you heard her name, it was after something bad had happened. Same with Britney, I think the attention doesn't do good for anyone. Keira Knightley mentioned that she had a mental breakdown at 22 and was diagnosed with PTSD, and at one point didn't even leave her house because the attention was too much. Britney and Lohan had paparazzi constantly following them and probably trying to get a reaction out of them. Remember back when your father knew a faster alternative route around a major traffic jam that actually was faster? Since the handheld availability of real-time traffic data and route optimization by Google Maps, an equilibrium of travel time has established such that everyone knows what the best route is, and the traffic jam actually takes as long as the alternative route. Most of the historic monuments, the amount of markings all over them makes me sick. There is graffiti left by Roman soldiers and Napoleonic soldiers in Egypt, which was pretty neat to see, to be honest. Given enough time, graffiti becomes a part of the historical landmark itself. It's a catch-22 caused by an attachment to our own time. We see the landmark as something that needs to be preserved by and for us, but the reality is we are in just as inconsequential a time of history as any. One of two most famous sites in the Hagia Sophia is where Viking scratched his name in the marble. The scratch is protected and now treated as sacred, but it's functionally no different than you or I going into a structure built 400 years ago and doing the same. Don't get me wrong, I don't like it when people deface historical landmarks, but our outrage is fleeting and sometimes contributes to the perceived value of the relic. Plastic. It is a great material, but mankind doesn't know how to use it properly. We have this super strong, super lightweight, corrosive-resistant material that can be made into any shape at a very low cost. It lasts forever, and we use it for disposable packaging. It's funny, when I was a kid, the environmentalists were certain that paper shopping bags would destroy the planet, but plastic bags would be the thing to keep the planet safe. Now, they're questioning the reusable closed bags. Okay, I'm going to mix it up. Theophylum, the plant used as a form of, likely very effective, birth control in the ancient Mediterranean. For this reason, and because it was apparently delicious, it gained popularity as a spice, aphrodisiac, and general cure-all and became worth its weight in gold. Julius Caesar stockpiled the stuff, and it is one of the most plausible origins of the heart symbol, and the association of that symbol with romance and doing the sex to people. Unfortunately, it only grew wild in and around Cyrene, and overharvesting by the Romans after their takeover of the city drove Silphium into extinction by the time of Nero. And that's why we had to wait 2000 years for the peel. That's interesting. Cool, a great read, and proves that popularity ruins everything. Everything. The original Facebook required an active college email and was a cool chill place. Now it's just a breeding ground for political horse shit and Karen's anti-vax moms. I deleted mine a little over a year ago because I was fed up with the content, misinformation and drama that occurred on that site, plus how invasive their practices are. I recently tried to make another account with the intention to keep it solely private, other than very close friends and family, with the intention to use it to only promote my music on the page. Within 10 minutes my account was suspended and subsequently disabled, as they believed I was impersonating somebody else even though I used my real name, etc. Apparently I need to send a copy of identification for them to reactivate my account. Think I'll pass on that one. Visiting Iceland. I absolutely fell in love with the country when I was there, but the popularity of it means, like any other trendy tourist destination, that it's now ruined by tourists being jackasses. I grew up near a national park that is also now ruined by overcrowding, so maybe I have a lower threshold for that sort of stuff than most. But watching idiots stomping all over fragile geothermal features 2 steps away from the "No walking on this area" sign just boils my blood. Hey, I live there. Might also be worth to mention that it is now the most expensive country in Europe. The Joker Stairs in the Bronx was a nice little piece of architecture in a quiet area of High Bridge. Now Instagram dipshits are ruining it. There is more trash there than ever before. I feel bad for the local residents who have to put up with it. The exhausted steps near Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. used to be the same, but it subsided eventually. You still get people taking a lot of pictures and such, especially around Halloween, but at one time it was a major tourist attraction in a town full of major tourist attractions. Add that to the long list of places Instagram dipshits have ruined. Travel. It used to be fun and interesting, now it's a competitive sport. Just travel? Living your life has turned into a competitive sport. We all used to joke about keeping up with the Jones. Social media turned that into a professional sport where they keep score and the best players can land lucrative sponsorship deals. I live in Egypt and many of the most popular places are ruined by all the people there all year round. Yeah, having a KFC right across from the Sphinx is a total what the fuck. Holy shit, are you serious? All photos of the pyramid complex are taken from an angle which hides most of Cairo and shows them against a desert backdrop. Airbnb. The idea of renting free room or sofa isn't bad at all. It turned into hard business when companies owning dozens of apartments rent them to tourists. Meanwhile, there is an apartment price and rent crisis. I guess living here isn't going to be affordable for middle class anymore. It's difficult as an Airbnb host with a room in the house available. We get a lot of middle-aged couples turning up expecting the whole place and also expecting the house to be something else. They just don't read the info. It's really frustrating because we are upfront about what to expect and have a really lovely room set up. But many people's experience of Airbnb is staying in commercial flats which has full-time maid service, so they come here expecting to get that, despite being €30 a night. The internet in general. My favorite thing about the old internet is that every website was a passion project of some kind, just some person who made the thing for other people to see. I remember somebody showing me Homestead Dance for the first time, and it was like the Easter egg of the internet, as if there was just the one. You just can't have the novelties like that anymore. Even when stuff like eBay started, it was connecting people to other people. Now it connects people to a corporation like the rest of the internet. Mount Everest. Especially since there is only 1 or 2 days a season that people climb, when conditions are optimal. There are literally queues of people waiting to go up some sections, and the overcrowding contributes to the number of deaths there each year. That's before you even start to think about the rubbish trash left up there. The tourism to Mount Everest has become the primary income for a lot of people in that area, so it's not surprising the guides and Sherpas continue to take people up in the large numbers, but it does seem sometimes like the numbers are unsustainable and downright dangerous. I've never been there and never will go, but it fascinates me, so I read about it all the time. So much litter at or near the summit and all along the way up. The Sherpas do try to clean what they can, but up in the death zone. Every ounce of what you are carrying matters tremendously, so very little can be done to get rid of all the oxygen canisters and things left laying around. Drones. They are an amazing and useful tool for surveyors, photographers, inspectors, filmmakers, etc. But they are so ubiquitous, Johnny Dumbus can go to buy one at Best Buy and crash it into a bald eagle nest and make the rest of us who've gone through training and FAA licensing look bad. Indie games. There are still some really cool indie games being made, but for every single good one there is 1000 really shitty ones. Just a few years ago I could go on Steam and find some great hidden gems, but now it's just an endless stream of shit. Hundreds of wacky and random XD meme games like Brick Simulator or Third Rate Clicker, with quality worse than 2010 Flash games, and porn, so much porn. The worst thing about this is that some really amazing games go completely unseen because they are drowned in this ocean of shit. That's the result of a deliberate decision by Steam. They used to have the greenlight program in which you'd submit your game for approval and the community would vote for one of several games to be added to Steam. That meant you had to have community support for a game before you launched. You had to make trailers, demos, etc. You had to put in actual effort and your game had to at least look like it was good. They ditched that program a few years ago and now anybody can upload whatever they want. YouTube, not really by the people on it, but because of all the things around ads and such which comes with its popularity. Thank you for watching this video, we appreciate it a lot. We would like to know what things you don't like anymore. You can comment down below, also subscribe to our channel and give us a big thumbs up. And we will see you in the next video. Bye!